Hello.
Hello.
What's up, everybody? It's Erin.
And Nicole, this is Dude That's Fucked Up.
Welcome.
Oh, so fun.
Here we are again. Another week.
Wow.
Just plowing through it.
Just living the dream.
I hope you're all doing well. We have a fun episode for you. But before we talk about it, do we have any business?
I don't think so.
All right. We're not businessy people, so.
Fucking
But every now and then
front, get it over with. We're all party in the back.
It's all party. All party.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, anything fucked up for you this week?
Oh my God. Okay. I'm rewatching Friends. What?
Okay. I don't get it. I never liked Friends. I mean, I watched it and stuff because that's what you did in like the 90s,
yeah.
But
it's so funny. The jokes are, I'm cracking up. I'm laughing out loud. Just the whole idea that like Joey was hired to play Robert De Niro's butt in a movie and like was fired for overacting is so funny to me. And like,
there's some funny jokes. There's
a lot. I think people.
Somebody tweeted like a freeze frame of it was who was like on the floor eating cheesecake in the hall, like it fell on the ground and they were just like eating it.
Yeah, I think it was the whole cast in that throughout that episode, but there's like a moment.
There's a moment where Joey walks in and he sees people like on the ground eating food off of the full ground, with, and he pulls a fork just out of nowhere and he's like, "What are we eating?" And it's just that's very funny. There's some good jokes. It's very funny.
It's a very funny show.
It's fine. I wouldn't be able to watch it again. Probably. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing because I watched the reunion also. That one, no, you don't need to watch that. But they were talking about, or maybe I was reading about how like it was a show just about being friends. So like it's very timeless because. They're never commenting on, there's some stuff from the popular
There's some problematic
lexicon.
shit, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's problematic for sure. There's a lot of problematic stuff. But in terms of, like, the jokes and stuff, it still holds up because it's not, like, a commentary on political events or anything. It's all just dumb, pull out a fork, character-based shit.
Sure. Yeah.
And so it's been pretty funny. I've been laughing out loud. And just enjoying some of these jokes and everybody's performance, like the physical comedy is really good. And so I'm watching it today, and Ross this is like episode 5 or 6. It's still season 1, and he's having a baby with Susan, his former wife, and his ex-wife, and the baby's inside her belly, and he's like going over. He's very like competitive with her now new wife because she's like a lesbian in the show. Like halfway through their marriage, whatever. And so they're very competitive, and so she's like, "Oh well, you don't have to do everything Susan does," and then he's like, "Oh no, I do. Like let me do this," and so he's like singing to the baby in the womb. And he's singing, "Hey, we're the monkeys. People say we monkey around." The theme song to the Monkees.
Yep. Yes.
I don't know if people know this. And it triggered me so hard. I got so embarrassed. And what?
What is it? Why?
Well, I remembered that when I was a child, I talked my mom and dad into letting me record our outgoing voicemail message, our outgoing telephone message, and I wrote a song.
Like
our outgoing message on our answering machine.
Answering machine, yeah.
That's our answering machine, yeah. And I said,
"Oh no."
I said, hey, we're the Mackies, and we can't come to the phone. So if you want to leave a message, wait until the tone.
Oh my God, that's so cute. Are you kidding me?
I was deeply mortified. Just the thought of this. I had no recollection of when this was in my life and if it even happened. And I was like, oh my God, Pete, I think this happened. I called my mom. I was like, I have a question.
Oh, no.
She was like, what? I'm like, did this happen? Like, did I at some point
Am I having like a weird traumatic memory from nowhere for no reason? Or is this real?
Is this like a song we sang as a family that I thought was funny? And she was like, oh no, you for sure did that. And it was there for a long time.
How old were you when you did it?
That's what I asked. And she said, maybe like 3rd grade.
That is so cute.
3rd or 4th grade. Yeah. So, and she said it was there for a very long time. And I was just like, oh my God, that's so embarrassing.
No, it's not. That is so precious. Are you kidding me?
I just feel like
that is precious.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, I made a TikTok about it. I said, what's the most embarrassing outgoing voicemail, or like what's the most embarrassing outgoing message your family let you record on your answering machine? I'll go first. And then I sang that. So if anyone wants to duet me or whatever people do on TikTok, please do. Stitch, whatever the thing is, please do it, because I've set that up so nicely for everyone's really weird emails. I mean,
voicemails.
Yeah. Or outgoing answering machine messages. Yeah.
Answering machine. Yeah. People don't have answering machines anymore. And I've like almost forgotten about them. But like, yeah, it was a literal recording.
Yeah. On a tape. On an actual tape.
I think I never did it on a family recording. Like for their Berteau residence, you know. Yeah. But I think I did the thing of when you first got a cell phone.
Yeah.
It used to be that when people called you, you could put a song instead of the like ringing, you know, when you call somebody, it rings.
Right.
And it would be a song instead of, like, it was so wild. And I like it, not a ringtone, but like the actual like sound that you hear. It's like your hold music basically.
Yeah.
And I can't remember. I had some like pretty cringy songs, I think.
Like emo, that. Probably.
Maybe. I feel like I had like a Radiohead or something. You know, that was definitely one of my ringtones. Like when I was a kid, or like a teenager, or like early 20s. I think Idiotech was like my ringtone for the longest time.
Oh my God. I remember when people would even just record their voicemail message, but like while a song was playing.
And that was what I was going to say. I think the first time I had, like, it's like you hold your, and there's like people who are like doing TikToks of this now, or like little videos. You would hold your phone up to the radio while it's like playing your favorite song. Like, it ain't no fun. The homies can't get. And I would be like, hey, it's Erin. Leave a message. Bye. Yeah. Like, but
it's all loud at first because you would hold it like close, and then you'd be like, hey.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And it would be like some dumb song, but it was like from the radio. But I don't think I had the like. I don't know. I didn't have the like kid energy to do that for my family answering machine. That's so cute.
Yeah. I feel like
Why are you embarrassed? That is so cute. It'd be embarrassing if you were like 16 years old doing that, maybe.
I think, you know why I think I'm embarrassed is because I have no concept of time. Like, because our brains, you know, as we age, we're always the same age in our head. And my inside my head is no different at 8 years old than it is at 16 years old. Like, I think about different things.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't, like, my sense of humor hasn't changed, sadly. Or, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think, maybe it's just now that I'm so much older, and I can only remember, you know, like, I only have the memories, or I think I thought in a certain way, but I just think it was so cheesy. I mean, obviously I was different, you know.
I was like, younger, I knew that I was a stupid idiot, like, as I aged, even in like older childhood, through like puberty and teenage years. Like, I feel like I did all my cringing about myself through my teenage years already. So I'm like, I already am there, you know?
I do it retroactively.
No. No. Because I did so many horribly cringy things when I was a kid. Like,
yeah.
you know.
Same.
Like,
but I didn't think about it then.
I did. I thought about it. I would think that's why I was like very self-aware even as a child. Like,
yeah.
Like painfully so. And that's why I was like kind of shy and never did stuff like that. Because I was like, I don't want to embarrass myself.
And now I'm the opposite because I'm like, I was talking to my therapist about this today because I was like, there's things I want to do that like, but I'm just scared to be judged for it. Probably because I'm so fucking judgy. Like, ugh.
Classic projection.
Classic projection. But it's like, yeah, there's like videos I want to make and jokes I think are funny. And like, I just want to like lean into that and not give a shit. But I give too many shits, you know? And so it's hard. But then while I was talking to her, I had the idea to like make that TikTok. And I was like, I'm going to fucking make this. I don't give a shit. If no one watches it, who cares? Yeah, therapy's already working. Yeah. She was like, I like to do worst case scenario. I go, fuck yeah. Worst case scenario, people don't like it. What the fuck do I care? And she's like, yeah, exactly. And I was like, all right.
Like worst case scenario, you just scrub your entire existence from the internet, you know?
Right. Yeah, no big deal. And I go work fucking retail again, and I don't give a shit. I honestly, for how much shit I talked about Muzak, I fucking love it. Tell me it's easy. That's on a hot Sunday take. Morning. You know what I mean? Like more Steely Dan, more Commodores, everything. That's good. I want it all.
That's good though. Then you get the occasional fucking the eighth world wonder thrown in there. You know?
That song did not stand the test of time. I wonder what like the modern day equivalent of Kimberly Locke's Eighth World Wonder is. There's probably something by Ed Sheeran.
Yeah, or like Imagine Dragons or something. I don't know. Just like super popular bangers that don't hold up, and
yeah,
you know,
that wasn't even super popular at the time. Let's be honest. Yeah,
no, you're right.
Oh, anyway, that was a very long fucked up of the week. Do you have anything this week?
No, I don't. I think I've just been bopping around and just, you know, not paying attention, just trying to make it through the week. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it. I totally get it.
I'm sure Jack did some dumb shit or whatever, but it's like my brain doesn't work right anymore, so I can't remember anything.
Oh my God. I'm sure he didn't do anything. No fuck shit was done. He's such an angel.
He is, but you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Like, yeah, did he like skid mark the lawn again or whatever? I don't know.
Who's to say? It's already I have every day is a new day, and it's like the day before it never existed, and I'm just like born again because my brain gets totally wiped. It's like amnesia. Yeah. It's like I'm like Memento every day.
As opposed to like Groundhog's Day where it's all the same.
As opposed to where you like think about something from your childhood now and you get super embarrassed. Like
I know. Oh my God.
No, don't be. That is precious. No. You're a precious human. Oh my God.
Oh, thank you.
Well, yeah, so I don't really have anything, but let's get into our topic of the week. Topic du jour.
Ooh, let's do it.
So, oh my God, we have a episode today that was suggested by one of my best buddies in the whole wide world, Christopher. Mm-hmm. Thank you for bringing this story to my attention. This was a historical moment in history that is just like totally went off the rails. Just, you know, everybody got caught up in the moment, and it's the story. It's like just to put it very mildly.
Yeah.
This is the story of a 17th century Dutch politician who was lynched, mutilated, and partially eaten by a mob. Yikes.
Fucking D-ribbed and McRibbed. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, this poor man, he got big time. Oh. I just kept, when I was like reading about this, I was like, oh damn, like Dutch politics were wild back then, back in like the 1600s, through the, you know, all through the 17th century. There was like so much crazy shit happening in the world, and yeah, we're not going to go into crazy Dutch politics, but
thank God.
But
I'm not prepared for that.
But it just like kept like this particular event was like it was like an insurrection basically against a prominent politician.
Yeah.
And it's basically what our former president, quote unquote president, had hoped would happen to Mike Pence and Nancy Pelosi when he incited an insurrection earlier this year, I think.
Oof, yeah.
Like he was inspired by this, I think.
Oh my God.
That's a joke. I don't know.
The one book he has is just like Dutch politics from the 17th century.
No, that fucker reads like Mein Kampf and shit. Like that guy is.
He doesn't read stuff.
No, he doesn't. Yeah. Well, back to Dutch politics. So this story is about a man named Johan de Witt, who, started off life like pretty charmed and successful. He
was like good at his job. Well,
good at
to a point. Yeah,
he was good all up until this moment. Until it ends badly for him, very badly for him. Mm-hmm. So this man, Johan, was born in 1625 to a wealthy family in the Netherlands. Mm-hmm. His father was Jacob de Witt, who was an influential regent and burgher from the patrician class in the city of Dordrecht. Which in the 17th century was like a hub. It was one of the most important cities in all of the provinces of Holland. He was afforded all of the advantages of being born into a high-class patrician family, including top-notch education at elite institutions, getting a good job right out of college. He became a lawyer.
That doesn't happen anymore for anyone.
No. And, of course, that means he was a good catch. So he married well into another wealthy and politically powerful family in the Netherlands. Mm-hmm. So, he was, connected. He was on his way. He was in the pipeline. He's young, good-looking, and coming in hot to the political scene. And he's doing it in the midst of this, century of Dutch prosperity, and it's a very it's a prosperous time for the Dutch, but also very volatile.
Is he like a Justin Trudeau type?
Yeah, he's like a Justin Trudeau, a Beto O'Rourke, has everything going for him. Mm-hmm. He's just, he's very confident and very smart. He's extremely smart. I mean, you can get a really good education and be like a dum-dum, but this guy was very smart, very he was in there, he was on the level, completely on the level. Yeah. So he's doing great. He is doing well at politics, working his way up. And it really helps that his wife's family is very well connected. They kind of bolster his rise to the top. And I'm not even going to pretend I know jack shit about Dutch politics, but suffice to say, he is a star. Mm-hmm. And thanks, like I said, to the help of his wife's family, who were very influential and powerful at the time.
We don't have to know anything. You tell me he's a star. I believe it. He's a star,
Yeah. I mean, there's just so much going on. It's just very crazy time in Dutch politics. But I mean, this guy rises to the top and becomes the Grand Pensionary, and that title is it's like an office. Basically, the closest thing that we can compare it to in modern politics is the position of prime minister. Mm-hmm. It's still not totally comparable, but it's close enough because, like I said, we're not going to get in the weeds on how representation of the Dutch provinces worked in the 17th century.
Listen, it's not a Dutch political podcast, and it never will be. I'm sorry if anyone's listening and they're like, tell me more. We're going to tell you less.
Yeah, much less.
Yeah.
So much less, in fact, that you might be dumber for listening to this. I don't know.
Whatever. This isn't the important part. We don't want to get bogged down in these details. You know what I mean? There's so much more drama to be had. There's so much more excitement, so much more fuckery, that the day-to-day comings and goings of this, a grand pensionary, if he was Italian, that's not, that's not our business.
Yeah. But he was the most important Dutch official of the Dutch Republic at this time. And so he's in the highest position in the land, and he's doing some good stuff. He's like making money for the Dutch people, and he is like, everything's like sort of stable. And at the same time, though, he's beefing hard with the Dutch monarchy. It's like a quasi monarchy. What?
He's beefing hard.
He's beefing with them. He's just like,
is that what you do in the Netherlands, or would it be he's stroopwaffling hard?
Yeah.
With the they eat beef. What's those little fried balls that are so good with the beef in it?
I don't know.
Oh, it's a fucking Bitterballen. He's
Bitterballen.
He's Bitterballen hard.
Yeah, all I know about I've been to Amsterdam, and all I had were stroopwafels and some very terrible pizza. We started in Amsterdam and ended in Paris. So
that's a good
no,
trip.
in Spain. We did Amsterdam, Paris, and then Spain. So
so nice.
I couldn't remember the food in Amsterdam if you like showed me pictures of it, because I
were you on drugs?
Yeah. 100%. Oh my God.
Which is why you ate that pizza. It probably looked like you shouldn't eat it when they set it down in front of you and you went, I'm desperate.
Dude, we drank so much. They have like the super cold or whatever, ultra cold or something, Heineken. Like Heineken sucks ass, but like,
but if you make it colder, it's better.
Yeah. Like, it's like very gimmicky. Like they have like, it's like the fucking tap is like covered in ice.
Oh, well, it's not a gimmick if it works.
It fucking works. Nothing tastes better than that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that aside, they were beefing with this guy Johan was just like beefing hard with the Dutch quasi monarchy. It wasn't like a true monarchy. It was just like this really old, like influential.
Old yeah, it's like the old world politics, and their ideas were not the same. He was trying to progress the country forward, and
it was a republic, so it was like the monarchy was not really. It was a thing, but it wasn't a thing. Kind of. Then it's just very different than modern politics today, and modern. I guess it's like closer to like a modern monarchy today.
Where it's kind of just like a symbol. It's symbolic.
Because they do have a monarchy there still, like just like they do, I don't know,
in England.
In other places. Yeah, in England and like Japan and shit.
And they're a representation of like a power of the country, but really they don't get to control much.
Right. But this family, the House of Orange-Nassau, they really did want to control the government. They were like, we have been doing this a long time, so let us just like do this thing. And they were like, there's all these like ins and outs of it and rules and of succession and everything that were not being fulfilled. So Johan was the law of the land based on the rules that they had at the time. And the House of Orange-Nassau was like, well, sir, we would like to take the reins of the whole government now, please. And he and other politicians were like, no, we're good. Like, look, like we're doing government here. We don't need you to like step in with your orange ways here. Okay. But yeah, so they're doing good. The Dutch at this time had succeeded in securing and maintaining peace with other European countries in the middle of like a lot of, like I said, volatility. And they were making money and trade with them. And he also managed to pit two of the Dutch's like main enemies, the English and the French, against each other. Oh. Like he was doing like some real like sneaky politicking to like make sure that the French and the English were like kept busy beefing with each other and would leave them the fuck alone. Oh. So that they would be free to trade with like all the other European countries. Yeah. he knew what he was doing.
Yeah,
to some degree. So he's like doing that. He's stiff arming the monarchy from trying to creep in on him the whole time. He's got lots of balls in the air, lots of stuff on his plate, if you will. But one of the plates spinning in the air fell. Oof. And on March of 1672, England and France, along with Germany, had kind of like been like, you know what? We're not going to fight anymore. We're going to like team up and kick this guy's ass.
Oh, no. You know what? I saw this coming. If you've seen any like teen movie where like two people are talking shit, like Mean Girls or something, and it's like you're trying to pit two people against each other, at some point they go, wait.
Let's be Mean Girls together.
Yeah. Is this a distraction? And then you go, okay, we're turning now on the other one.
Yeah. So England, France, and then some parts of Germany decided to team up and fuck up the Netherlands together. So that's a big whoopsies. Big oversight on Johan. He kind of knew that there might have been some chatter between them, but he just like kind of wasn't. He thought they were real busy with other stuff, and he was busy with other stuff. He was focusing on like telling the monarchy to suck his pee-pee and making that money, he was investing in their navy and like merchant ships because he was like trade was like popping off. So in the meantime, a lot of like some of the stuff that should have probably had some focus on, like the army that was on the land, should have probably had some attention because that's how they got. The Dutch army was severely like underfunded, and they're kind of sitting on their thumbs and not super bolstered by the government. And the French easily invaded the Dutch provinces. This is like, I don't know what happened, but this is like kind of a big oversight.
Yeah.
Because the Netherlands is not an island, honey. You invested all that money in the Navy, and you're not an island.
Yeah.
You have.
Well, yeah. He invested his money in trade, which he was like very hyper focused on trade, thinking all the political relations were fine. Everything was fine. But like, it wasn't fine. And then when it was like, oh shit, they want to go to war, you know, they're going to come beef with us here. He had no one to go defend. He didn't have enough resources.
On the land. Yeah.
Yeah, on land.
He didn't have enough resources on the land, which is
and in the military.
Big problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Dutch army was like, hey, we got like 10 dudes here with like bows and arrows, and these French guys just showed up with like 1,000 times that many men with like trebuchets and fucking cannons and really fancy guns with like pretty silver frilly like stuff on it that's like made to murder people, and we're not on that level, so we're just gonna tap out.
Yeah. Oh no.
They got run over on land there, the poor army. So this is a military disaster, and the subsequent year is referred to as the Rampjaar.
Ooh.
Rampjaar. That's AKA the disaster year.
Oh God. Oh. That you don't want that on your record.
And it's not just this military fuck up that makes it a disaster year. It gets a lot worse.
Yeah.
So the French come, invade them, fuck them up, and the Dutch people are like, yo, what the fuck? Johan. I don't know.
Spelled with Y's and J's.
Yeah. The Dutch people pretty much united in hating Johan de Witt and his inattention to the Dutch army. They were like, dude, you fucking fucked up. What were you doing? And in the meantime, this House of Orange has their guy. His name is William III. William III of the House of Orange, like pops up like, hey, I have been telling this guy to get fucked for years. He sucks. And I can like come and like run the government. Let's get this guy out of here.
Oh my God.
I can't. What do you have to lose? So people were like, okay, yes, okay, come help us, fancy Daddy Orange. And they told William III, yes, please come take over, and we're gonna like boot de Witt from office. Like, we hate him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's.
Oh no.
The tide turned so fast against Johan de Witt, despite all the like good stuff he had done for the country. I mean, it kind of gets canceled out when your country gets invaded.
It was an oversight.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, we're gonna get rid de Witt.
Get rid of it.
Get rid of it immediately.
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah. I was also wondering if like, Yo Mama jokes. I wonder if like Johan jokes were like a thing then. I don't know.
Probably.
Oh my God. Probably. Yeah. Everybody probably hated him. I want to say also, this is just like a dumb aside, but the House of Orange supporters were known at the time as Orangists, which is a huge, speaking of triggers, such a trigger for me because I went to Syracuse University where the mascot is the orange. And it's all so dumb and I hate it. And it's just like people were.
You guys can't even fucking grow citrus in Syracuse, okay?
There's almost no sunshine there.
Yeah, it's just a color.
Yeah. We should, like, if we were going by like things in Syracuse, we should have been the big mall or whatever. Like we had the Mall of Dreams or whatever they were building. It was like they wanted it to be like the Mall of America, but things. Oh no, I know what it was called. Destiny USA.
Oh no.
That sounds like a mall.
That sounds like a magazine you find in like a train or something, Like
yeah,
like an Amtrak.
It's the Amtrak publication, Destiny USA.
Like Joe Biden subscribes to it, know, like.
Also, like that maybe was gonna be Joe Biden's slogan for the last campaign, but
Destiny USA. But now it's Build Back Better. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, God. These oranges, man. Yeah. Okay. First of all, like, what a terrible name, and also like they're like monarchy supporters. They're like full bootlickers, like.
Which wasn't, honestly, I mean, that's everyone was like that at the time, right? Yeah. Like people were. I mean, we're still having to talk people into socialist ideas. We're still having to be like, stop fucking worshiping Elon Musk and fucking anyone. Bill Gates.
He doesn't Jeff even Bezos, like you. He wants to get off this planet as fast as possible.
And also, they're too wealthy for one human. Like, we all need to be joining together. Anyway. Yeah, it is, but it was normal at the time. People didn't understand. Like, you give them a little crumb of bread and they were like so grateful and were just like all about it,
Well, and it wasn't even, it was just like, it was like very populist shit. And populism always, like, if you can figure out how to harness that and ride the tiger like this guy did, then you go for it. So so William III, he sees that the Dutch people are pissed at Johan, and like really starting to work themselves up, and he possibly made it worse and incited them. And so on June 21st of 1672, Johan was attacked. This is the same year. 1672 is the same year that like
disaster
the war.
Year.
This is a disaster year.
Yeah.
And everything happened. Like the French invaded in March of this year.
Oh wow.
And by June 21st, 1672, Johan was attacked but survived an assassination attempt. So he's like, okay, I think I'm done here.
Yeah. Oh, this is serious.
This is very serious. Yeah, he knew everybody was pissed, but then like people were like trying to like literally kill him. So he was like, all right. And then he was like basically forced out and resigned from office officially on August 4th of 1672. And meanwhile, Johan's brother Cornelius, some people translate it that way, he's also Cornelius. We're going to just call him Corn.
Corny.
Corny was, he was also a politician, but like nowhere near as savvy or successful, I guess. As obviously Johan was like top of the top. Corn was arrested for treason, for quote treason, and for quote conspiring against William III. So it wasn't even like really proven. It was like a trumped up charge. It was just like to get this guy out of the way, basically. I bet like if we were able to go back in history and look at every single instance where someone was accused of treason or conspiring against a person in power, probably 99.9% of the people innocent. I don't know. I feel like people were shooting their shots. They didn't give a shit because they were like,
"That's true.
Look, either the plague's gonna take me out, or I do this.
True.
Fucking treason."
I think. Okay, you're right. Let me amend that. So if you took everyone and you were able to know for sure or not, if you looked at class, if you separated them into classes, the people in the upper classes, way higher chance that they for sure were like.
Oh, they were all trifling.
Conspiring.
They were all fucking 100%.
But down below, I feel like people like that was just something that was thrown around.
Oh yeah. Oh totally. I mean,
to kill
any poor person, does the 1 foot out of line, and
and they were conspiring to kill.
Yeah, they'll find a way to like murder them.
So rude.
Yeah, which is still the same these days. But yeah, so. Poor Corn was arrested and subjected to torture, and I guess Corn de Witt, yeah. After he,
why is that funny?
I don't know. Because it's funny. I don't know.
And he's like a conduit to something. Like he's a conduit.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Just a real lightning rod for fuckery here. Well, they arrested him, tortured him, and he refused to confess to anything because he didn't really have anything. Like the treason and the conspiring against William III was like bullshit. So, but according to the law back then, if you confessed, you were allowed to then be convicted of whatever it was that you were accused of. So he did not. He stood his ground and he refused to confess. So then he was sentenced to be exiled instead of like put on trial and like sentenced to death. So he's sitting in prison at The Hague waiting to be released. Like The Hague was like the Washington D.C. or is the Washington D.C. of the Netherlands basically. And Johan de Witt and his family like all live like a few blocks away from The Hague. Or specifically from this prison within The Hague that his brother was being held. So his brother, Corn's sitting there in prison waiting to be released so he could get the fuck out of Dodge. Like he's like, all right, exile, great, I'll go, fine.
Yeah, fine. That's fucking better than being sentenced to death, 100%.
Yeah, like go to fucking, I don't know.
Wherever,
anywhere but there.
Yeah.
So Johan goes to visit him. Big mistake. Yeah.
It's not good.
He like walks over, gets to the prison. Yeah. And he's like, I'm just here to see my brother. And The Hague civic militia is like, go ahead. Go inside. And basically what happens next is the brothers were they're set upon by the members of the Hague civic militia, which was like a clearly orchestrated assassination. They just like got them like cornered and shot them.
Is a civil militia like a neighborhood watch?
I think it's
that seems right.
I think it's like a bunch of like they were like security guards basically. They were like people who worked at the prison that weren't like actual like military,
right? Yeah.
Or I guess there would be like rent-a-cops instead of actual cops. I don't know.
Yeah. Because I think, we'll talk about it in a second, but I think there were some more official people that were supposed to be there and they were like let go early or whatever. So
yeah, they like anybody who was there that day, it was very well like planned to have people who were orangists there to assassinate them, basically.
Civic militia. I do feel like that's just neighborhood watch, but like in old time.
Yeah, it's
old-timey terms.
Yeah, it's truly. It's like a bunch of people, a bunch of bootlickers, man.
Yeah, yeah.
So they were shot. The brothers were shot and left to the mob that had formed. Like,
oh god,
that was just there all the time, I guess. The brothers' naked and mutilated bodies were strung up on the nearby public gibbet, which is like a gallows, basically.
I'm glad it's not gibbet.
It might be gibbet.
Oh,
gibbet. I was thinking giblets.
Yeah, I was thinking giblets too. And then gibbet sounds like a disco song to me for some reason. It's like, gibbet, come on, or so. I don't know. Like gibbet. Oh my god.
Well, they got fucked up. Like, it wasn't just that they were like, beaten. They were already shot and killed by this assassination. Yeah. But people just like started like piñataing their bodies, basically.
Yeah, they were already dead.
Yeah, they were already dead. People were like slicing and dicing them as they like hung them up, and it's fucked up. And there are some accounts that people in the mob started taking parts of the bodies, like cutting into the corpses, taking organs, and eating them. And one man was even said to have eaten an eyeball. Now, we don't know if that's like real, but there's some accounts. I don't know, man. It's just like, yo, dude, like, it's bad enough that these guys are already dead. Like, that's what you wanted. It's like the mob just wanted to like be as violent and as gross as possible.
Which, and it's wild too, because like based on accounts of this mob, it was like pretty calm. Like this wasn't like, they could have gone so much more wild. They weren't like burning down. They didn't like move on from this and like burn down a village or anything. It was like very concentrated to these two men, and like it was all very specific. And so that's another reason why people think it was planned and like carried out by people and incited. Yeah. And carried out by people who like knew what was going to happen that day, which is why they didn't get like, everybody didn't get like worked up in a tizzy like you would expect if this was more of the moment.
The mob mentality, like where it was just like everybody's just like berserking or whatever. Yeah. It was just like, okay, they're dead, but like, let's get in a few punches ourselves. And I say punches in the most benign way you can when it comes to something like this, because they fully mutilated these two men's bodies. Very sick.
Yeah.
And so they were like fully like, we hate them, so we ate them.
Yeah, you couldn't argue that this wasn't planned.
When they had slogans.
When they had a fucking full slogan. They worked with the marketing team at a small firm.
I mean, that's a good fucking tagline. I don't care what it.
Amazing.
It's like,
we hate them, so we ate them. As they're eating them and like dragging pieces of their flesh out into the like square or whatever.
Just like fucking brutal. Like,
dude. Oh my God.
Imagine that, putting that much energy into anything. I literally cannot.
I cannot.
I don't even hate anything that much.
No, I don't. Oh my God. Also, things generally when you hate something, it's because you used to love it or something, and like you're very sad. You know, it's like
maybe that is like, part of it. You know,
maybe they loved him.
Yeah, they were like so disappointed, and it's like, I don't know, they just turned on him.
I was gonna
talk
make a
about
joke.
Cancel culture. Hey.
I was gonna make a joke that they got the slogan, which was "We hate them, so we ate them," from the Latin. It was derived from the phrase "They hate us because they ain't us."
When you're great, people hate, and then they ate your eyeball.
Yeah, and your fucking body.
Yeah.
But so yeah, it's pretty clear that this was orchestrated and planned, and also looking back at this, historians have kind of pinpointed a strong possibility that William III had a hand in all of this, like was maybe, you know, like how Trump tweeted stuff, like William was sending out messages to like, hey, maybe you guys could like show up and do this thing or whatever.
Yeah. We're gonna walk down to the Capitol.
Yeah, we're gonna walk. Yeah, we're just gonna walk over to The Hague. Everybody, you in the green hat, we're going hagging. And he definitely ordered the withdrawal of the federal cavalry detachment, which we were talking about, some sort of like guards at the Hague that were like guarding Johan's brother. And had they been there, they may have otherwise prevented this slaughtering and the subsequent ingestion of these brothers.
Wow, this all sounds very familiar.
Yeah.
About how like the National Guard wasn't called in for like 6 hours.
Triggering.
During the insurrection. Like, it's wild.
All you have to do is look at the insurrection handbook. It's, yeah. Oh, God. Also, William was... So I think he came into power. He was married to Queen Anne or someone. There's like a famous person I think he was married to. I did not look into this a lot, but at some point he was in power enough that he was like had business in the UK and was like making people like pledge their allegiance to him. I don't know who he was, but yeah, I think he was important at some point. So
William of Orange is a very famous
William of Orange,
person.
Yeah. But he like had agency over multiple countries. Like he was ruling a big chunk of Europe at some point. And so there was another event that he was involved in that was very suspicious called the Massacre at Glencoe, where he killed, or like his, people killed 30 members of the Glencoe MacDonald clan for allegedly failing to pledge allegiance, which, while it doesn't sound like super out of character for a king of the 17th century, it technically was out of fashion at this point. And
yeah, you don't like red wedding people.
Yeah,
like
we're fucking family.
We're quote unquote civilized now.
Yeah,
sir.
Yeah, and it upset the people of Scotland, and they were like, "This is bad," and it wasn't good for him. Anyway, he sounds like a real fun guy. And then lastly, I think the other huge red flag of William's involvement was that he failed to punish anyone for killing the De Witt brothers. And even though it was like very well known who the ringleaders were, which they were Orangists, and it was Johan van Bancham, Cornelius Tromp, or Cornelis Tromp, and then
Corn Trump.
Corn Chomp. And then
it's spelled Tromp, like Tromp, like.
But it's close enough.
It's close enough.
And then also relative Johan Kiewit. And so, like, people were like, "Why aren't you doing anything about this? You know, these 3 guys like ripped these people apart and like were cheering it on and came up with this slogan and shit." And he was like, "Yeah, I just like don't have any proof." Or whatever. And then also afterwards, he like advanced their careers. He was like helping them get even further up into the echelons of Dutch politics. So it's all real fucking sketchy and sad.
He just made sure that he was like, "Did you eat a part of the brothers? Okay, you can be the treasury secretary or whatever." Like, That's your price of admittance to.
Did you treasure any of their parts? Great. You're the Treasury Secretary.
Great. Love it. Oh, you ate his eyeball? You're definitely in the oversight committee. Sorry.
Oh, God. You cut off one of his feet and you have it in your basement? Great. We're going to put you in charge of transportation.
Oh, my God. Oh, Lord. Jesus. Yeah. Oh, my God. This whole thing, just terrible. And it's like it's definitely a stain on the history of the Dutch people. Like they consider this one of the most shameful moments in their history.
It's their hey, we're the Mackies.
And they've like more modern times, they've like, erected statues and named ships and stuff in Johan de Witt's honor, just to like be like, sorry.
Oh,
so sorry about
you
that.
You didn't deserve that.
Yeah, that was shitty. So yeah, and there's also, and this is like, the kind of the aftermath, like people realize how fucked up this was, like not just like now in modern times, but like pretty soon after like William III's like reign came to like after he was like kind of out of power, people were like, yo, that shit was fucked up with that when that guy like did that to those other guys, like we should not have done that. And there's several famous works of art depicting this scene of the De Witt brothers murders, including one that is one of the most haunting paintings. Like I haven't seen it in person, but I've seen this this work of art like before, like a long time ago. And then it was also in a scene from Killing Eve.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And it depicts the brothers hung upside down and like basically like, drawn and quartered. And it's extremely graphic. But it's haunting to me because the same portraitist who had made the paintings of the portraits of the brothers in life, like their headshots or whatever. Yeah. The artist Johan de Witt, he also made this painting of them in death. And it's called The Corpses of the De Witt Brothers. And just Google that shit and. Ugh. And it's very.
But be ready for it, because I Googled it and I was like, ew, why?
Yeah.
But also, I also loved it because it's very like, it's like a chiaroscuro painting. It's just very dark.
Yeah, it plays with the dark and the light.
Yeah,
and that's what's the most striking to me about this painting is the way the artist plays with the light and the dark. Yeah.
Also, there is a man in the foreground with like a lantern or a candle who is horrified. And the look on, you can't really see his full face, but you can see he's like, oh, like he's like, oh, in the foreground. And it's like, oh my God. That's also horrifying because you're like, oh, it's this man's like emotional reaction to seeing this in real time.
I just checked on my water. Also, I think there's a cat in it. I don't know what the symbolism is of that.
Oh, interesting. I'd be curious to look at that.
Yeah, I need to look at it closer again, but
yeah, it's good. It also looks like maybe someone made a coat of their skins because it's like very similar to like some of the bodies that they find in Silence of the Lambs, where it's like
they're like flayed.
Pelt. Yeah, but also like a patterned piece of skin is cut off, and you're like, why is it that shape? Like, why is the leg skin a diamond or whatever?
Because somebody just literally, this was a thing too in this time. Like, people, they were still doing like public executions and shit. Yeah. And a thing that people would do is like take souvenirs from the hangings.
I hate it.
And, this is like it'd be something like a piece of clothing off the body, not like a fucking flap of skin.
Still,
necessarily.
Both is gross.
But that's what they were doing to these guys. They were just literally like taking chunks of them. So
Also, I think the painting depicts the brothers as being in like probably better shape than they were left in. Like, I think they were like pretty pulverized and like, like it was gross.
It
was gross.
Yeah.
It's gross. They're also pretty famous. The killing of the De Witt brothers, like the events of the killing and stuff, were also written about in The Black Tulip, which is written by the legendary Alexander Dumas.
Yeah. And it's very interesting because Dumas is like, he's a French writer.
Yeah.
And the French are the ones who invaded the Dutch and set off this whole series of events. And so Alexander Dumas is like, yo, look at this. Look at how fucked up this shit is. Like the aftermath of the invasion.
Oof.
And like made French people and people all over the world who read this story.
Yeah.
It's like a fictionalized but also real telling of what happened.
Yeah.
Like a historical fiction basically.
Mm-hmm.
And part of the plot I think has to do with the killing of these brothers, and but it helped to kind of garner sympathy and like, you know, empathy for
change
them.
The like
posthumously,
public perception of what happened there. Yeah. It's the first 4 chapters of the book are like this event.
Yeah.
Or like a retelling of it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's very sad.
It's sad. Yeah. What did the French? The French didn't kill him though. It was like an inside job.
No.
Yeah.
No. The French didn't kill him, but
they started beefing.
Yeah, the French invaded them.
Yeah.
You know, with the help of the English and the Germans, and you know, it started this whole, the whole reason for people, the quote unquote reason for people killing the brothers, basically. So
right, it was the
catalyst, if you will.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of who knows what could have happened. You know, if these brothers were just like able to just creep off into the night. But I think William III hated them so much, or hated Johan de Witt so much, because he was the one that was behind all of the like he just stiff-armed them completely, like through the whole entire political process. So it's wild. This is like when power and politics just get way too real. Anyway, these poor guys, man, they really got. They just were on the wrong end of that populist train of just people being so angry about something. And I mean, you know, people had every right to be angry, but I do believe, like you were saying, that William was definitely like pulling some strings in the background and inciting some of this shit, and maybe like throwing out some like disinformation about these guys that made them even more of a boogeyman to people who were Orangists. So,
and truly, like in that time period, like I do, it sucks because Johan did it, you know, was helping the Dutch economy, and things were thriving, like they were making a lot of money and like prospering, you know. It was like a good time until this event. And then it's like, and then everyone just turns on him, and it's like, man, that kind of sucks. But also at the time, you know, people were killed, people's families were killed or whatever, you know, in this, in the attacks, and like there wasn't much else going on.
Yeah.
You know, people are going to get upset, and they're going to go, yeah, like the country's making money, but like what the fuck happened?
Anytime something bad happens, anytime there's an attack and a war or whatever, there has to be somebody to blame. And these guys were, you know, Johan de Witt was the one in charge of the country at the time, basically. And I think he took the brunt of it, and he just really, it didn't have to go this far though. It did not have to go this far. he could have been held accountable in other ways, but my God, this was a bridge too far.
Okay, side note, did he have a Habsburg jaw? I forgot to bring this up during the
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
He was
just had
handsome.
a prominent jaw. Yeah.
Yeah, he was a handsome guy. He was like, in his younger years. The portrait that
Johan de
Witt did of him. Johan de Witt.
I like Johan de Witt because it sounds like John Bon Jovi or something. It's like you could be the front man of a Dutch band.
That's
Johan
right.
de Witt.
Yeah, the portrait of him when he was younger, he seemed a very handsome man, and like
I think the stylings of it, both like artistically and what he was wearing, looked like the Habsburg guy to me.
Yeah,
like the middle part with the long hair and like the same kind of shirt.
It was just the look of the day.
Look. It was the look. Yeah, and so I was reminded of the Habsburg, but yeah, I think he just had like a prominent jaw.
Yep. Oh man.
Wow, those poor dudes. Yikes.
Can you imagine being that mad about anything?
No, that you're gonna eat someone's eyeball? No thanks. I'd be disgusted.
Sir.
I will never. I'm going to make this promise, and there's not a lot of things that I would say I absolutely will never do this, but I will never eat a person's eyeball. I'm going to say that. And I am confident that that is the case.
Okay. Yeah.
You don't have to say it. You don't have to say it. You don't have to take that stand, but I'm going to say it.
Okay. That's a fair, planting your flag statement. And I respect that.
Thank you.
I'm not going to say it because I don't know.
I know. I knew that about you. I was like, oh, this bitch. I think she's thinking about eating someone's eye.
Listen, there's some tasty looking eyeballs out there.
Listen, she can't drink these days, so you got to get your fun where you can get it.
Oh, man. Well, don't eat eat the rich, but not really, okay? Like
not physically.
Not literally.
Yeah. Oh, gross. Yeah, let's not. Elon Musk probably tastes like raw cauliflower.
Ugh.
And by that I mean farts.
Yeah, it's like it's steamed cauliflower, probably.
Yeah. Unsalted.
Ugh.
It's boiled Brussels sprouts he tastes like not like delicious like roasted ones like they make nowadays. It's like the 1970s, 1980s slimy fucking mushy, nasty, farty Brussels sprouts.
That's right. Yep. Yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
Oh, well, should we...
And Jeff Bezos tastes like hot dog water, probably. Not even like a full hot dog, just like an essence of hot dog. He's like
old hot dog.
He's like a hot dog flavor LaCroix or something.
Ew, he's like... It's like if a hot dog vendor abandoned their cart on a Tuesday and then someone went and checked it on a Friday and there's no hot dogs in there. It's just the hot dog water that's been sitting in the hot sun, in the hot New York sun since that day. And that's him.
And that's it's partially evaporated. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like 100%. Concentrated.
Yeah.
Oh, but still gross somehow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Flavorless.
But also flavorless. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Follow us on social medias, right?
Yeah, at DTFU Podcast everywhere. Go to our website, dtfupodcast.com. So many fun things on there that you can scroll through.
Oh my gosh, you can email us through the site. Like there's like a form submission. Send us a topic that you think would be fun if we covered. The last two, I think, have been listener recommendations.
Yeah.
/ friend recommendations. Because our listeners are our friends.
That's right. If you're Dutch and we got this horribly wrong, I am so sorry.
Yeah.
But we're not the ones that like ate our politicians. So.
Also, we're not a historical. This isn't a Dutch political podcast as much as I know everyone wanted it to be, but it's just not.
No. Go listen to Hardcore History, not us.
Yeah.
I know I say that every time we talk about something historical, but please.
Well, yeah, we're just talking about it for fun.
Yeah. Somebody ate an eyeball. We have to talk about it, okay?
I got to talk about it.
I got to talk about it. All right. Well, all that said, listen here. Stay excellent to yourselves.
And each other. Bye.
Bye.